I recently bike packed 722 kilometers through France. It was a great experience, peppered with some truly painful and bad moments, but that's sort of the point. So why did I do it? Well, nothing quite satisfies my ape brain quite like traveling long distances using my own body as the engine. It's almost reminiscent of like the bygone explorer, just traversing new lands, except I'm on a carbon road bike on freshly paved roads with easy access to McDonald's if I get hungry, so I guess it's not quite as rugged as my ape brain likes to believe, but it definitely connects you back to the basics. You know, food, water and shelter are your three focuses, and each day you're sort of managing your options for each. It gives you clarity on what's important in terms of possessions, because everything you bring adds weight and weight slows you down, so it's like a forced minimalism. And importantly for me, traveling by bike allows you to cover long distances with relative ease while still giving you the access that you get from something like walking. You can stop whenever and wherever you want, you can take detours on a whim, and you can really immerse yourself in the environment. You feel the wind, you feel the gradient, the temperature, the road surface, the bends in the road, the busyness and the vibe of a place to a hyper degree when you're riding on a bike. And this is both a good thing and also occasionally a massive negative thing, because when the wind is in your face, the gradient is a hill, the temperature is cold and it's busy and it's wet, you don't want to be feeling all those things. So how did I do it? Well, I was following the Eurovelo 4 route, which goes from Roscoff in France all the way up to Kiev in Ukraine, and I got the ferry across to Cherbourg and cycled up to Calais. So I was doing a very small portion of the route, but in total it was 722 kilometers and it took me 7 days to complete. I was riding my Specialized Diverge gravel bike and I had all of my bike packing kit strapped on in line. It was important to me that everything was kept in line, so it was nice and streamlined so that I could maintain a fairly solid pace despite the fact that I had 5 days of headwind. All in, the trip cost me just under 300 euros, and that included 1 hotel, 6 campsites, 28 croissants, 4 baguettes, 2 ferries, and 1 vegan Burger King in the rain, which was quite depressing. So how did it all feel? Looking back, it was an incredible experience, but definitely in the moment, there were some serious rough spots. You know, the extreme anxiety as I arrived in France and realized I actually had to do this, that was strong, and then just the cold, wet regret on day one as I rode into a 30km/h headwind. I was just thinking, what on earth am I doing here? The frost on the inside of my tent, the faulty inner tubes that meant that I couldn't actually repair my puncture and I thought that my trip was over because of something so silly, my charge port on my phone breaking, which meant I actually got lost for 3 hours in rural France until eventually I found somewhere that sold a wireless charger, which allowed me to get back onto the route. And that's when I ate the Burger King, by the way. Depressing. Just the general pain of doing compound 100km days with a full bike packing rig. I mean, it was definitely tough. I just kept repeating in my head that it'll all work out, and just to remember that no one moment is connected to the next. And really, these huge swings ended up defining my trip. You know, each day or even hour would go from this is horrible, I hate this, I want to go home, so this is amazing, it's the best thing I've ever done, I never want to go home. The tough times amplified the good times. Dry socks at the end of the day were a reason to celebrate. My pesto pasta that I would eat became a Michelin star meal. A personal highlight for me was just watching the clouds for 2 hours as I lay on the grass, feeling my legs gradually recover after a 9-hour day in the saddle. You know, it was pure joy. I just wish that this fresh perspective stuck around, because I've been back for 3 weeks now and already I'm just back to aimlessly getting frustrated on social media and opening my very full fridge and complaining that there's no food. But I guess that just tells me that maybe I need to do more of this sort of thing, and maybe that fresh perspective will become a little more sticky each time I do it. So would I recommend? Yes, absolutely. If you can and do have access to doing something like this, I would highly recommend it. And will I be doing it again? Definitely. And I'm probably going to be going for longer. So I guess I'll update you on how that goes and on where my bicycle is going to be taking me next. But for now, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!